Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's BDF44 coming at you with another video. So, I'm midway through breakfast, so bear with me. This is one of those videos where I'm going to be eating and talking to you. I hope that doesn't offend anybody. I'll try to keep it decent. But I did want to get this out while it's fresh in my head. I just found out that Ben Simmons was kicked out of practice and suspended for one game for conduct detrimental to the team. Now, of course, details are not out there, so we don't know what the incident actually was. But apparently, Doc Rivers was the one who kicked him out of practice. Here's the deal, and I've said this. In this situation, I'm not gonna lie, had me wondering if I was on the right track here, but this is what I expected would happen if I were. Ben Simmons doesn't want to be there, man. He's only showing up because someone has convinced him it's the right decision short term. It's the way for him to go forward and get a chance to get traded. It's the best way for him to go ahead and go forward and get a chance to get traded. I don't think he wants to be there. And I think Philadelphia wants him to come back, not only tuck his tail between his legs, but play a lot and have his heart into it and kind of just be something that he's not right now. And this is what I'm talking about, toxic situations. When you know someone doesn't want to be there and you force them to come there and they don't act like they want to be there, and then you suspend them. Now, I don't know what incident took place. For all I know, he did something that would make this a thing. And if that's the case, if he punched somebody, or if he called somebody a name, or if he was disruptive, if he came there and did something inappropriate, then fine. Forget all of this concern, because it would make it a specific situation. But what I'm saying is, just don't play games with the kid. Don't play games with him. You know he don't want to be there. You know he's unhappy. You're going to ask him to come there, and you're going to ask him to be happy. And then you're going to be unhappy when he shows you that he's not happy. I don't like when people do stuff like that. That's just my thing. I don't like that. That's a control freak's behavior there. That's control freak behavior. All right? If I'm unhappy, I'm unhappy. I'm not going to act like I'm happy just because you're forcing me to be here. I have a right to not be happy. If I don't have a right to not be here, I have a right to be myself while here. And if I don't have a right to do that, then you got to deal with the consequences of what it is I'm going to do in response to what it is that you're trying to force me to do. Because I'm already showing you, if I'm Ben Simmons, that I don't want to be here. I've already told you what my stipulations are. The circumstances have made it so that now I have to go against that, and you expect me to be happy within this space. I have to tuck my tail between my legs and force myself to do something I don't want to do to begin with. Now when I get here, this should have been worked into the equation upon me coming here. Y'all should have known I wasn't going to say nothing to nobody. Y'all should have known I wasn't going to run no drills. I wasn't going to be hee and kiki and none of that. Why? Because the circumstances have made it so that I have to be here. Not my desire and not us fixing any of our issues. So it stands to reason that the tension's going to be in the room. Why in the world are why is any of this even hitting the public? See, suspension is a signaling to the public. That's what that is, because it's something that the media is going to talk about. This could have went without any media energy whatsoever. This could have been a situation where you have practice, he's there, he leaves. Whatever happens in practice there, that don't need to be nothing. Y'all like making it something. And this is why I'm saying Ben has a right to be upset and want to get out of there. Because if this were the Lakers, this environment wouldn't even happen. Whatever took place today wouldn't happen. It's how you work the problems you have. And this is the problem I've had with Philadelphia. This is how they operate. Little stuff that is signaled to me they're like this. And it's like, that's why Ben should want out of there. Because of stupid stuff like this. I watched the footage of him in practice yesterday. I saw his body language. I also saw the body language of the people around him. Nobody was happy to see anybody. They looked at him with a certain level of vitriol, with their back against him. He looked around at them like he didn't want to be there, as if he was in territory that he wasn't comfortable being in. This situation is over. Y'all going through this little tit for tat is it's childish. And I've been saying that on this channel for weeks. Whatever took place today is Philadelphia's fault. Why? Because they forced him to be there. Period. Though they had a contractual right to do so, fine. But in football, there's such thing as certain penalties being called, and you just decline them. No need. It doesn't benefit us to waste our time and letting them get punished for that. Let's just move on to the next play. This is one of those. Just because you have a right don't mean you should. He's unhappy. He wants out. You want him there. It doesn't mean he's going to have to smile about it. You can't force me to like the circumstances. You can force me to be here. You don't force me to like it. So no, I'm with Ben Simmons 130%. This is just furthering why. I don't care if he's a spoiled kid who doesn't understand his value, he's acting up. Because what this represents is not just how they treat him, but how they treat every young player that seems to come in there. It seems that way. I'd love to know what Markelle Fultz has to say. I'd love to hear what Jahlil Okafor has to say. I'd love to hear what Mikal Bridges got to say. I'd love to hear what Rashad Holmes got to say. I'd love to hear what every single player that's ever come in and out of there has had to say. Some of the players have had excellent upside that did not reach their potential in Philadelphia. I just want to know what they got to say. I want to know if they think Ben Simmons has a reason to be upset. Even if they don't agree with his methods, because most of us don't. But that he's upset with the environment, that he identifies the environment as something he needs to escape from, is that something that we need to look into? Because it seems to me that everything that I've seen tells me yes, absolutely. The Markelle Fultz situation alone was crazy enough. That was enough for me to say, what the hell is going on over there? So no, this is just another one of those circumstances. And I'm watching it from afar just like everybody else. I'm listening to the media just like everybody else. But I'm also looking at the kid. And the pictures that they showed us in the practice yesterday. I'm looking at his face and see how uncomfortable he looked. Seeing how nobody was going over to talk to him, try to see how he was doing. Knowing he's under pressure. Nope. They all a united front with the Philly side of things. Nah, I get it. I get it. He needs to get the hell up out of there. And look, I know money is not something we want to give up. It's irresponsible to give up money. I get that. I'm one of those people who is sacrificing a lot for money right now, for opportunities of money. So I know what it feels like to do things you don't want to do, just so you have some money in your pocket. But what I'm telling you is, in watching Ben Simmons and how unhappy he looks, and watching the situation as this unfolding, so they'll have more ammunition to pour and say that he's a bad guy, because that's all this really was. An environment for which to toss him into to make him look like a bad guy, because they knew exactly what he was going to do in that environment. But that's a whole nother story. Seen him do it to Kaepernick as well, setting him up for that tryout. And we've seen things before. Environments are created to make people look a certain way. This is yet another one of those examples, in my opinion. But nevertheless, even if all of that is false and all of that, at the end of the day, I think Ben Simmons should actually consider giving them back their contract. After this little bull crap, yeah, you should actually give them back their money. And you know why? Because you do want to play basketball somewhere. And this is much bigger than basketball, and you will get that money back if you are exactly the player you believe yourself to be. But this situation, with the way they have their stranglehold on you, nah. Watching it from afar, that contract is just a soul-binding circumstance. That's all it is. That's soul-binding. And I can't speak to what money can do for you or what you may have your money wrapped up into. I don't know. But the way I envision being trapped in circumstances where people can control how I look and control the environments I'm in to make me look a certain way, and then make, step back as if it's all my fault, all that bull crap. When I see that, I think the money that I'm receiving ain't worth it. Like, you take that and give me back my freedom. I'll find another bag somewhere else. You keep that slave money that you got right there. Because if I got to be tortured for every single coin, it ain't worth it to me personally. Now, I'm not saying that's how Ben feels. I'm just saying that's how I would feel in the circumstance I perceive Ben is in. When I'm looking at this, transpires it is. You already want out. You know what I mean? And this, now this. Nah. And I look at the NBA as a whole. Do better. You're doing a great job of letting us all believe that Black Lives Matter. You're doing a great job at putting these players in opportunities to where they don't have to deal with the NCAA and that nonsense. Creating a G League and, funding other opportunities for these kids to go, giving options. I love that. I see what you're doing. But here's a situation where we got a kid under distress, under your umbrella, in a circumstance that he perceives as bad. It's gotten so toxic that neither side can even function in the presence of one another. As a league, Y'all need to do something about this. Y'all need to step in at this point. That's what I think. I think Adam Silver needs to step in and looking at Philadelphia and that Ben Simmons situation and intercede. Get in between those two parties and figure this out. Because it's just going to get worse. It's going to get worse and worse and worse. They're going to continue to do this tug of war with him and drive this kid completely out of his mind. That's what they're going to do. And I see it from afar, man. And maybe I look at it differently because of how I am. I give you that. You know what I'm saying? I'm taking it to a certain level of extreme. But I know unhappiness when I see it. And it ain't enough money in the world to make you sit there and take that. Not if you're me. So that's how I feel about that, man. Free Ben Simmons, real talk. Free Ben Simmons. And all that situation with, as far as, you know, the rest of the team and Joel Embiid, I've said this. Everybody needs to make a mass exodus out of there. They need to be taught a lesson. They need to be taught a lesson. They can't keep doing this. And thank God Jason Tatum was able to be delivered to Celtics instead of having to find himself in that Philadelphia situation. I'm so thankful for him that his career is going a better path than everybody else was able to avoid that situation. That's how serious I see it. Joel, get the hell out of there, bro. My name is BDL44. That's what I got. I'm going to continue my breakfast. I know it's gotten cold. You know what I'm saying? Y'all suspending that kid is wrong. He's already unhappy. Whatever happened there, y'all created it. That's how I feel. My name is BDL44. I'm out.